Son shit, y'all ready?
I hope y'all are. This episode is about Casta. Casta is basically a caste system on colorism and racism that jumped off in New Spain, which is now known as Mexico. It was basically presented to people through paintings. Basically, they told you the more lighter you were held more respectful than the darker people. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that came from the integration that was happening between not just the blacks, but the Native Americans and the new Spaniards. You know what I'm saying? The Spaniards who found themselves in New Spain and how this was becoming a new world. So somebody needed to take the time to go, oh, no. There is a hierarchy here, son. Nah, B. Nope. That ain't what we doing up in here. We nah. As I talk about it in the clip, when you hear it, it's not just them. Everywhere in the world did that. Even to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like, growing up, watching Eddie Murphy movies, that was always the thing. That was the knock on Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy girlfriends are always light-skinned. You know what I'm saying? That was the thing. The knock on the Cosby Show. How you end up with two super light-skinned daughters? Like, neither one of y'all are that complexion. And then, they brought Granddad on Cliffside, and he was light-skin-ish. You know what I'm saying? He won't as light as Denise and Sandra, but he was light. They were like, there you go. That's how you, we gonna skip the generation. We're gonna let that one slide. We might let that one slide. You know what I mean? Was it my wife and my children? They traded out daughters, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the colorism just off of black people was crazy. Asians have colorism. We know the Indians have colorism. I'm talking about people from India. Native Americans have colorism. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watched Reservation Dogs. Every last one of them was super light for the most part. I think Bear might have been at the darkest. Bear and the two twin midgets might have been as dark brown as you were gonna get on that show. Like, that was it. That was as brownish as you were going to get. Everybody was super light on that show. You know what I mean? Colorism. That's the thing. Australia with the Aborigines people. There's a lane of colorism. You have to look like Tiki to get on TV. The ones that look like I look, they ain't making it. You know what I mean? Colorism. It's a thing, man. The Indian, like I said, when you talk about the Indians and their caste system of what's sexy, it's always the lighter skinned women, not the darker skinned women. The lighter men, not the dark skinned men. It's a thing. That's what we do. And that's what I talked about. I was like, yo, I broke it down probably a little more crazier than this. This probably sounds more sensible than that night. When you live and you just say wild, random stuff, you know what I mean? Matter of fact, scratch that. When it's me, I just say wild, random stuff, and I go off beat and go somewhere else with stuff. And, you know what I mean? Life, man. I don't know. But that's the subject on that joint. The caste system out there in New Spain and how it also affects Mexico today. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Say word. That's word, cause Sean don't give a woo. Rest in peace to Sean Price. Hip hop. Anyway, what we got to talk about? Oh man, it's not really a lot to talk about. Like, for me, I am not going to talk about Diddy situation. I will say this much though. Piers Morgan or Morgan Pierce, I don't know how you pronounce which naming goes front or back for my man, but the British dude. I forgot what was he on? He was on something, right? And then he became famous he became bigger than life and got his own show. Whatever his name is, that guy. It's those two names in some order. That guy had Jaguar Wright on the show. And he had Vlad come after her. She says what she's always saying. And here's the thing. Jag is Jag. What people don't understand, like, I think a lot of people don't know that she was in the game. She is a industry person. She was in the mix. You know what I'm saying? She was in the mix for a minute. And what I also think people don't understand is, once you're in the mix, unless you totally withdraw yourself, you're still invited to parties. You're still hanging out with people who hang out with people who know people. You're still in that world. You know what I'm saying? You're still connected. You know what I'm saying? Unless you totally just withdraw yourself away from all of that, you're still a part of that. Because a lot of times the friendship bonds, like, yeah, that person, because Vlad goes, she ain't had music out in 20 years. That means nothing. I'll be sure hasn't been in the game for about 30 years, technically, right? I'll be sure still got homies all over the place. I'll be sure can still go out to an event and be I'll be sure still has I'll be sure can still call people. I'll be sure can still do XYZ. You know what I'm saying? DMC, they ain't had a record technically in 20 years, but it's DMC, and when you see people, DMC is still in the mix. DMC is still here. DMC is still there. D Nice. You know what I'm saying? Eddie F. Jazzy Jeff. Right now I just sound like I was rhyming, but I'm not. I'm throwing names out of celebrity people that like, you go, oh man, I ain't seen so and so. Rick James hadn't been doing anything for years, but still Rick James could get invited to a party. Rick James was still hanging out with Eddie Murphy. You know what I'm saying? Rick James was still doing his thing. Rick James was still getting put on. You know what I'm saying? Let's not play the game. Rick James was still living. That's the part I think people don't get. You know what I'm saying? Something jump off. Hey, yo, Rick, you want to come with me? And boom, boom, boom. You hear people say that all the time. Like, yo, I went to such a... Remember Dave Chappelle's joke about OJ? He was going to parties and there was OJ. OJ was at these parties himself. So if OJ is at some of these get downs and functionings, what makes you think Jag ain't at these functions? You know what I'm saying? If OJ is getting the invite to come through, hey, yo, there's something jumping off. OJ, you want to come through? Yeah, I'll peek my head in there real quick and see what's up. What makes you think somebody who remembers Jag was getting it in ain't gonna go, yo, girl, you need to come through? Like, yo, oh, you in town? Yeah, come through. Still celebrities. Still eating, still living a certain lifestyle. Even if the money ain't there, somebody gonna put them on. Oh no, you coming with me? I got you. You know how many people say that that's what they go through? Oh yeah, so and so got me. They hit me off and brought me with them. That's how life goes. So to say that she has no valid credibility to speak of when she speaks on these things is absurd. And here's another thing, fact, not opinion, fact. You can literally say half of the stuff that she has said has not come true, but then there's half of the stuff that she has said, there's stuff that has been played out or is going to play out. That's fact. There's a point where 50% of the stuff we might want to just dismiss. And then as it plays out, you're like, oh snap, you know who was saying this stuff? Like 5 years ago, 3 years ago? Jag was saying this stuff. Jag was saying this stuff with the gay dude on the Gay Dude show. Jag was saying this stuff in her car while she was just chilling at the gas station. Jag was saying this stuff. What? That's crazy. Vlad, on the other hand, is going, don't believe her. I never had her on my show. She's not credible. And my position on Vlad is, why are we listening to Vlad? And then the reality hits. As a black man, I can say this. And I'm not saying this because I'm black, and it's not one of those things. Oh, I'm black. No. What I'm saying is, as a black man who has lived in this country, I can tell you, we say things, but we don't do things. Black people are the same black people telling you, asking you Why do we listen to Vlad? We should be boycotting Vlad. Nobody should be checking for Vlad. Are the same black people who told you, oh man, I ain't gonna be watching the NFL if Colin Kaepernick ain't playing, but we're still watching the NFL. Black people, those are the same black people who, when Iman said what he said about nappy head hoes, all of a sudden he flipped it. He put the Jedi mind trick and flipped the game on black rappers and hip hop, calling women beads and this and that and out of their names. And we was like, oh yeah, man, I ain't listen. Yeah, I ain't checking for nothing that's playing like that no more. That's all we listen to now. The average top rapper on the billboards is giving you that 100% now. We don't follow through on the we're not going to be a part of this aspect. We don't do that. We don't, you know what I mean? We don't do that. That ain't something that we get down with. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I ain't messing with Papa John. Even if Shaq hadn't told you, I got this joint now, people still would have been like, yo, call them peoples up, man. Yeah, they got a nice little deal, son. I'm funny right now. I want me a Papa John's pizza. We do that. We are very inconsistent on the I'm not gonna get down with that anymore. We should boycott that. How many times have I personally heard people go, Facebook and Instagram ain't for us? Black people look out here mad, talking about, yeah, you know, Elon Musk owns Twitter, he racist, but you're still on Twitter. That's us. That's what we do. So you're listening to it, you're talking about a man that we have told ourselves for at least 5 years to no longer deal with, but we still deal with him. And we go, oh, well, who dealing with him? Them numbers ain't lying. Them ain't white people. Listen, white people don't mess with Vlad. I don't know if y'all understand what I'm saying right now. If you're a non-hip-hop white person, you don't deal with Vlad. If you even look at Vlad's content, he don't even talk to white people who aren't part of something in the culture. If they're not a basketball player, a cool football player, a rapper, an actor who acts in a lot of black movies, R&B singer, white porn star who likes to do it with black dudes, he ain't talking to them. You know what I'm saying? Brad Pitt is not on Vlad. Matt Damon ain't on Vlad. What's your man, what's Deadpool's real wife? I can't even think of my man's real name, so I'm just calling him Deadpool right now. His wife, yeah, she ain't on Vlad. Dolly Parton isn't on Vlad telling you crazy stories of her life. Willie Nelson isn't on Vlad. You know what I'm saying? Kenny Rogers, rest in peace, wasn't on Vlad. You know what I mean? Nobody from Metallica is telling you these crazy stories on Vlad. Black people. White people are not his audience. White people aren't who support him. White people aren't the ones putting money in his pocket. That is us. And then when he goes out of his way and insults us in some shape, form, or fashion, whether it's about Nick Cannon, whether it's about Marlon Wayans, whether it's about these rappers, whether rappers he's saying stuff about other rappers that no longer deal with them anymore, we still continue to get down with this man. We still continue to rock with this dude. So when you have people going, oh man, who's still listening to this dude? We are still listening to this dude. Morgan Pierce, whatever his name is, might be the only time you'll see him even interact with a white dude. That was it. Like, I was shocked. I was like, yo, first of all, I was shocked when I saw her. I was like, what? Then they pulled him out the cut. I'm like, yo, oh my God, what? I don't know. Look, y'all didn't understand. I just had all kind of crazy hand movements like I was Busta Rhymes in the hoo-ha video. I was like, woo-ha, got you all in check. Hands was just all over the place. Yo, salute to whoever used to like brush Busta teeth. Cause them old Busta Rhymes video, he was always, had his teeth always up in the camera. I was like, yo, my man, you are out here, you Colgate or somebody needs to holler at you, Crest, cause your teeth are nice. And these is back in the day when dudes had real teeth too. This ain't no veneer stuff. Them were Busta's teeth. Them, you can see all the imperfections in his teeth. But they was white. Anyway, I'm just like, yo. But that's us, man. That's us. That's the stuff that we we do that. You know what I mean? That's how we get down. We do that stuff right there. It's just a whole lot of joints jumping, man. I was gonna talk about. There was a something. There's two things I want to talk about, but I'm gonna talk about one of them and have an actual whole little post bonus or something about it, and that's the Whitlock thing about Shorty and the WNBA. So I'm gonna come back to. I'm gonna definitely have to record something. We're gonna have to do a whole joint on that differently. But the other thing, I think I lost my train of thought talking about Vlad. So we're gonna keep this short and sweet. See how that go? This is short and sweet. Vlad done messed around and just made me forget everything I was about to say. You know what I mean? But please always take that in consideration when people talk crazy about Vlad. Ask white people who are not involved in hip hop. Do they know who Vlad is? Do they know about a guy who named DJ Vlad TV? And they're gonna tell you no. Don't believe me. Test it out yourself. White people who are not part of the culture, who are not invested in the hip hop culture, ask them. You know what I mean? Ask them. The people that you know don't get down like this. Be like, yo, y'all know who Vlad is? Vlad TV? They're gonna be like, nah, what is that? That's real. This man is popular. This man is famous because we put him there. We did that. And for whatever reason, he knows we won't destroy that. We'll destroy Tyler Perry's career before we'll destroy Vlad's career. You know what I'm saying? We're adamant about not watching any more Tyler Perry movies. We're adamant about that. Like, oh man, that last movie was super trash. Why are we still watching? Let's no longer deal with anything, even them joints on BET. We're willing to shut that man down. Unify. And don't get it twisted. There's still a debate. There's still people going, oh man, y'all just haters. Y'all know what it is when y'all get into it. Enjoy it. That's that man's stick. That's that man's lane. He carved this out for himself. Don't be out here hating on this man. And we still do. But yet, I guarantee you, he'll lose a little money before Vlad will. Stephen A will lose a little money before Vlad will. You know what I'm saying? Lee Daniels will lose a little money before Vlad will. D.L. Hughley will lose a little money before Vlad will. D.L. Hughley say something that you don't like. Oh man, who's listening to his show anyway? Man, don't nobody need to be listening to his show. Forget him. He'll lose money before Vlad will. Because you'll purposely affect that man's money before you will Vlad's. You know what I mean? Steve Harvey, Cat Williams. If Shannon Sharp step out of pocket too many times, Shannon Sharp, we got that. This is a weird dynamic that we do. Vlad'll be straight. Vlad'll be straight because for every time you hear somebody go like it sounds unanimous. Why we still listening to him? Who keep popping off with this dude? Why we rocking with this dude? But we rocking with this dude. That man numbers don't lie. You know what I'm saying? That man's numbers don't lie. His imitators aren't pulling the same numbers as him. His numbers ain't lying. That's what we do. We're putting that in his pocket, yo. But anyway, I ain't here to talk about all that. I just wanted to get that out the way. Anyway, this is what the show is. Thank y'all for rocking. Thank y'all for listening. We posted the vice presidential debate. We posted that joint up. So maybe y'all check it out. Maybe y'all don't check it out. Email me. We're going to have to start putting the email in the thing anyway. But if y'all know, y'all know. Email me. Blackceezar. BLACKCEEZAR. CEEZAR. I have to say it slower sometimes because some people I don't know. CEE. Maybe the CEE. Who knows? That might sound like 3 E's. CEEZAR @gmail. You know what I mean? So, comments, critiques, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I already hear most of it anyway, man. What's up with the music? What's up with the split joint? Boom, boom, boom. And then you gotta explain it. And my thing is, if you've listened this much, you get it. Right? I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe these are new listeners and, you know what I mean. But anyway, thank y'all for rocking. Thank y'all for listening. East Coast, West Coast, worldwide, Lost Boys. You know how we do. Let's get into it. Yes. Hey, it's Wednesday. Still keeping that jumping. Yeah, cause I'm cool like that. Ain't a fool like that. Can't school black. Still keep it popping like the black top. But we gon' and it don't stop. Y'all be like, oh my God, this that hip hop. I need to stop rhyming like this before somebody think that they could go against this and be like, he ain't really shh. They be spitting they bestest. Then I get all up in their chest and like asbestos. Yes, it's the dopest in. Look, had a whole internal joint in my head. My whole mind. Y'all ain't understanding right now. I just went into a whole different place. For real. I was out here. I'm like, because I'm going to tell y'all exactly what happened. I started talking about asbestos, and my first thought was, I thought about my mans, and I was like, yo, look, we talked about that. I said that, I told y'all one time, right? My man was we in high school. Met him. Salute to Wise. I know Wise will hear this. If he hear this, he going to be like, yo, man, need to let it go, son. But he had a rhyme where he was like, yo, it's embedded in my ovaries. That was his joint. That was his line. He was gonna keep that joint. Salute to my man O&O. We at his house. We had my man Wise Choice house, 32nd in Madison. And he's writing this joint. He got the whole 16. He ready. Yeah, he done made a whole rhyme. He made a whole joint. He ended up recording the whole song. But he was like, yeah, got it embedded in my ovaries. And we just like, I don't think that's how that. I don't know, man. I mean, I skip a lot of health class, but I don't think that's a thing, man. Son, His mom's, it was even like, boy, that ain't what we got. You ain't got one of them. I got one of them. You ain't got that. Man, it's a dope line. Fast forward, he went out here and recorded a solo joint, and I might be wrong, but I think he threw them bars in, and he was like, you know what I'm saying? If I was a chick, it would be busting out my ovaries. He wanted that line so bad. Oh man. But yo, so I'm up here thinking about asbestos, and all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, got rhymes busting out my body, you know what I'm saying, out my embryo. I'm like, and a piece of me thinks he's thinking that joint in your head, that joint, you know, when it busts you dead, that joint, the aneurysm. I don't know what he was thinking. I testicle, who knows? But I just know he was deep in a whole nother body part of another person. It wasn't him. He had an out of body experience moment, but the rhyme was dope. So we gonna give him that much. As y'all can hear with this beat playing, y'all know what time it be. Y'all know the time it be. I keep it pumping. I'ma be getting into that history, but man, like it's a mystery. And I'm like, nah, it's just a conspiracy. Off beat, on beat, you hearing me? I better stop. Let me get into this joint like this. Take it from the top. Like, yeah, this moment in Hispanic history. Yeah, what I want to talk about is this thing. It's a system, the caste system. It's actually called the Casta Paintings. The Casta Paintings was a joint that really took hold of New Spain, which became Mexico. But in the 18th century, it was like, yo, with all of this intermingling of us pure blood Spaniards and the Indigos and the Negroes, we need something else to go on. Like, we need to figure out what we gonna do. So they was like, yo, how do we do this? And there was their paintings giving you the caste system, colorism at its finest. You know what I'm saying? Where it's all those who look European, white, Spaniard, purebred, pure blood, boom. If you're a little lighter, boom. Blacks and the Native Americans, we're at the bottom. Blacks are really at the bottom. Yeah. You know what I mean? But not only is it crazy, it was a big deal back then. Not only did it just go, yo, this is where you rank in our list, in our priority list. It also meant a lot socially. Like, there was a point where they would not allow you, if you were a bit darker skin, if you couldn't pass this level, you won't go past that. If your skin tone didn't get here, you weren't going to, as a person in society, make it. They were going to not allow you to get too far. It was crazy. But that also started a whole system that becomes a thing that plagued Mexico. I'm saying it that way, plagued Mexico, because y'all ain't understanding. Mexico, like every place else, has their own system of what they standards of beauty. Black people, y'all know we know. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you grew up in the 70s, the 80s, you know what I mean, the 90s. They trying to bring it back around with all these light-skinned dudes, all these mixed dudes and mixed chicks, but then they doing it a little subtle. But y'all remember, man, it was hard pressed if you wanted for certain. If you couldn't do the paper bag joint, man, it was hard pressed for you. You weren't gonna be sexy unless you was funny or you did a lot of action and stuff like you was Wesley Snipes and Eddie Murphy. Yeah. Think how many dark-skinned sex symbols there was at their height. It won't a lie. It was them two. That was it. You know what I'm saying? Danny Glover won't sexy to nobody. Danny Glover just looked like Danny Glover. Danny Glover. There was scenes in Lethal Weapon when he had his shirt off. Ain't nobody going, ooh. They was just like, man, put your joint back on, son. What is you doing? You know what I mean? Johnny Gill. It's not a lot of dark-skinned dudes that was out here banging them in the head, you know what I mean? For real. It was like dark-skinned dudes didn't start becoming super hot until like that early point in the 90s when Jamon Hansu was in one of them Janet Jackson videos. I'm like, well, who is that brother? Like, yeah, then you saw him without the filter, you like, dang! And you ashy, son, you need some lotion. Saw him in Amistad and it wasn't sexy no more. Like, don't give him some freedom. Give that brother some lotion. Throw some lotion on that right there, son. You ashy. Why you so ashy, man? Anyway, but yeah, man, it's a caste system. So much so that for all y'all who saw Black Panther 2, if you know about Black Panther 2 and Namor and all that, the Mexican people protested against that actor. They wanted a lighter actor. They wanted lighter people in general, not even understanding the historical significance of him being that role, because they were saying, yo, the colonizers came in and burnt their joint. So he was supposed to be around that skin tone, but they were like, nah, son, I mean, yeah, if you're gonna do it, why don't you do it with some people that's lighter? And it's weird, because salute to Paul Rodriguez. Paul Rodriguez is another one. Is another perfect example. I remember he had a joke, and he talked about how his people came in all colors. And he said he had an uncle who I guess got like, it didn't work out for him because he was dark. You know what I'm saying? You would have thought he was black. And I'm just like, yo, even with that, like, even as a joke, you can still see that it was there. And to say that, yo, your levels. And they talking about this in Mexico, what was back then New Spain was a thing in the 17th century. They were like, nah, son, we this is what we doing. This is how we gonna do it. We're not going to allow people to progress if they don't get any further. And the crazy part is, when you think about it, even now, like there's black pockets in Mexico that they don't acknowledge at all. At all. You know what I mean? Speak Mexican and anything. Just Mexican. They Mexican. Been there for generations. They Mexican. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody out here representing. Ain't nobody bringing them up to the forefront going, yo, check these people out. They'll bring some Asians to you before they bring them. You know what I mean? But that's just crazy. And that's jail. You know, I was just like, yo, how do you... I don't know, man. But anyway, that's the history that and America has it. Asia has it. There was I saw a documentary where a chick was trying to figure out why did her family leave, I think Vietnam or something, and like during the Vietnam War or whatever. And one of the crazy parts is the dad didn't want to go back to be, because his family was dead, but his mom, the girl's mom's family was still alive, and he did not want to go back because his skin was dark and they thought that he was no good. This brother went out here, got 2 stores, living successful. They put the daughter through college and all this. Skin tone is what what is still on their mind. Like, yo, you with this dark Asian dude, nah, how dare you? You know what I mean? But so everybody got their own joints, man. It's weird. It's one of them things. We've been polluted. You know what I mean? The European mentality definitely invaded. Same thing with Indian people. Like, think about how many times you see Indian people. If y'all ever seen a picture of me, y'all know what I look like. How many times have you ever seen an Indian person who looks like I look? TV ain't showing you that. They ain't showing you that. They always look like Apu, and then they look lighter. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know what I'm saying? They go from Mindy, what's the name? What's the joint? The Mindy bride, the Mindy whatever her name is, to the Kamala Harris, to a little light, to almost white. Yeah, they ain't letting you see nobody other than Italians. I know some Italians that look like me. I thought they was Africans. They straight, yeah. Remember, if you seen Equalizer 3, Shorty, yeah, I seen some darker than Shorty. That was all up on Denzel, like, hey, why you always just doing all that? Ooh, you look a little like me, like I might have a chance with you. A lot of these dudes is acting like they don't want to get none of this right here. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's real out here, yo. But anyway, man, it's beautiful that we all come in all shades and colors. Sometimes you just gotta be like, yo, I ain't gonna let that stop me. You know what I'm saying? Why would I let my skin tone stop me? What you gotta hope is you got the right height. Ain't nothing worse than you little midgety dudes out here trying to like climb on trees of a broad. I'm like, yo, I like you, and just looking up all day. Get in an argument with her, and then she done set you in a hot chair and just cussed you out. And then you mad. People come to the crib like, yo, why you mad? You done cussed that man out. You got him up in the hot chair like, yeah, baby, let me pull my phone out. Man, put the phone down. Nah, this is crazy, son. She out here chastising you while you in the hot chair. This is crazy. You know what I mean? Just put him in the backpack and drop him off at the airport. You know what I mean? Leave him at the bus stop, let him get out and be like, oh my God, I can't believe you did this, and waddle back. Because all them midgets, all them dwarfs, whatever y'all want to call them, they don't walk, they waddle. I know I just totally went off base with all that. Let's get back into this music. My bad, I was about to really go in on these dwarfs. Salute to all little people, especially you females who look good. You funny looking midgets, dwarfs. Y'all know the ones, the rockhead ones. Them I'm gonna get back into the music, man. Let's go. That's my time. That's my time. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. That was my look. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. There was a time, if you were in the 757 area, and here's the wild part. Out of towners don't get this. Out of towners be like, yo, I was out there. It was. Nah, it really wasn't. There was a point in time where if you were from the 757, especially the peninsula side, you was like, yo, for real? Because y'all don't understand. Timbaland went to Augusta, right? I think Bubba Sparks is from somewhere. It's not Atlanta, though. So I think it was Augusta. Got your mans. Went up to Philly and got Jade, who sound like Eve. Then he had a Britney Spears wannabe bride. He was grabbing people from everywhere but the crib. And we was like, yo, for real? What's up with that? We didn't hate on Missy because Missy was putting people on. Like Lady Ray, Nicole Ray, for y'all who know. You know what I'm saying? It's like she was doing a lot of stuff. She was out here trying to get it popping. It just was like, yo, there was a whole lot of other stuff. I went off beat, so a whole lot of other stuff jumping. But yo, it was wild. There was a time where the Clips couldn't come to the peninsula side. They couldn't come to the peninsula side. And for people who don't know if they was real hustlers, they was real hustlers. There was some deaths that was attributed to the people that they knew. And it was like, oh yeah, come through. Come to Hampton University for a homecoming. They ain't doing that. There was a time where they would not step on the other side. They might front like that. That ain't the real deal, but if you know, you know. I'm out here exposing some stuff. We too old for all that, I understand. But I'm letting y'all know where the energy on that record came from. Because we was hungry. The streets was hungry. And it wasn't just us. It was a whole lot of people. It was a whole lot. Because people had met a lot of those artists and was getting shooed away. You know what I mean? Like, left them all boo-boo face. Like, oh, man, for real. That's the part of the game they don't tell y'all. And it was wild. Let's bring. Don't put me in the corner. I'm still talking. I'm cooking. Water on the stove all bubbly. I'm telling y'all what's going down the ugly. Yeah. Anyway, but it was wild back then. It was crazy back then, and that was my little joint to him, and it circulated good too. Like, salute to that mixtape, because that mixtape had a whole joint. Had people out here rocking. People ain't even know it was me doing my joint, and I'm like, when I listen back to the bars now, it was pure just hate. 100% hate juice for real. Hate. You know what I mean? I salute them brothers now. I salute all of them, Timbaland, all of them dudes now, because the longevity and the impact that they made. I still get mad when I hear them talk and they kick it like VA won't cracking. Like, you know what I mean? That's the part, because they was inside. They weren't outside. They was inside people. They weren't out here in the streets. And then I also chalk it up, they're from Virginia Beach. You know what I mean? They had a little presence maybe every once in a while in Norfolk and all that, but they won't out. You know what I mean? So every time I see stuff where they drop like hip hop won't really cracking until like 93, I'll be like, oh my God, somebody needs to stop a hole in these dudes. Rest in peace to Magoo too. Magoo was one of them dudes who said it, but rest in peace to Magoo. We didn't say nothing evil about the past. You know what I mean? So let me do it like this. They say you only live once. That's a lie. You only die once. So anytime that your God allows you to get out here and continue your journey, please show the world the best version of you. Y'all be safe. Peace. I'm going to tell y'all this much too. It was so bad that 103 Jams was like, yo, y'all do these interviews everywhere, but here we're going to start exposing secrets. By that Friday, a lot of dudes dropped in. It wasn't just us as artists. Peace.
This is a Soul of Art presentation.